Welcome back. And today we're going to talk about, all right, I think that's good.
Right. Hopefully that comes across well. We have a whole idea here that for a trick, and if it works, then it works. And if it doesn't, then Ben just looks like a giant jackass for doing that.
I just look stupid.
So if that
If you
didn't,
don't put anything up, it's just going to be me just,
dude, I can I can make you look real dumb. But I
you
will not
could.
though because I love you too much. We got Invincible. I came to the show late. I've been hearing about how amazing it is for years now from good old Mr. 10410. It's his favorite show, apparently. And season 3 came out this year, so I got a little behind and I watched through it, caught up to season 3. Then I think had something similar, and we're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna fucking watch it. So deal with it. So I'm not really sure where to start because we haven't talked about season 1 or 2. Season 3 just came out. You want to jump into that?
Yeah. I I think we could just summarize the show. I like shows like this, It's the same kind of tone as The Boys, just a little bit less sexual, which is fine with me because there's not dicks flying around and all that. Like shows that aren't afraid to get gory, and I think it's easier to get gory in animated shows because you can't. It's really hard to like make CGI live action look real. Gore sometimes, and I'm just a fan of superhero shows. We both are. So this was a fun watch for me. I gotta say though, I really, and I think Chad's gonna agree with me. It's not top of the top, like it's not the best animated thing I've seen. It's not the best superhero thing I've seen. It was fun. It was good. I enjoyed it, but in terms of the hype, I would say it's overrated personally. I really would.
Honestly, the thing is, I've been arguing with so many people about this show. I haven't argued with our good mutual friend about it too much, outside of like certain plot points. But on the quality of the show, I've said to everyone, this is a good show. It's a good show. People at my work are in love with this show. They're like, this is the most amazing show I've ever seen. It's our friend Hooper's favorite TV show. And I'm like, this is a good show. What I really got in trouble for saying was I was like, it's a good show. Like you could like throw it on in the background and like totally fine. And throw it on in the background. How dare you? The show is amazing. I'm like, listen, okay, good show. All right. I like the action. I enjoy the characters. I don't really connect with any of them, which is kind of a problem. And it's good. And I like it. What it is kind of doing well is that it kind of sets things up in past seasons that you can pick up with in future seasons. So, like, an example was like the aliens on Mars that take over that guy who's flying to Earth, and then they pick it up in the next season. And it's a fun episode that way. Now, people have been describing that to me as like everything in this show matters and nothing is by accident. It'll all come back. It's like, no, you're just kind of like setting up little Easter eggs for you to pay off later. It's not really that deep. So frankly, I'm just like a little baffled by it's amazing. It's the best show ever. It's the best superhero show. I love it. Frankly, dude, I don't see any reason why I'm going to watch any Invincible until season 4 comes out. Like, I had a
Hmm.
good time with it. And it's fine. I appreciate that it's challenging and it asks some difficult questions, in particular about uh, like your responsibility as a superhero if you have these powers, which was done better in Spider-Man. This is going to be a common theme. Why is it okay to kill people? Is it not okay to kill people to save people? Which was done a lot better in my favorite show, Daredevil, and still is. The show apparently has an opinion on Cecil's character, who I just don't agree with at all. And maybe we'll get into that. I don't think that he's a good person. And in fact, I think he's a pretty deplorable human being. But I've been getting pushback on
Hmm.
that as well. So I just see the show differently. Also, this is a little side note. We're kind of bouncing all around here, but I don't like his brother Oliver. I don't like his brother Oliver one bit. I've only seen seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Walking Dead, or 1 and 2 and some of 3, but he reminds me strongly of Carl, Rick's son, annoying as hell. Just like I want him dead.
I haven't seen Walking Dead yet.
He's like the main character has a son that's basically Oliver, who's annoying as fuck and gets in the way of everything. He's just a pain in the dick. I don't like Oliver. I don't think he adds much to the show, and I don't appreciate him. And actually that's not true. I liked him better before he could talk. Then that's when he was at his best as a character.
Peak, yeah.
Peak Oliver. Because it gives you that perspective. And yeah, it does ask challenging questions. It's reasonably philosophical, but and it's not like down the line classic what superhero shows are, which I appreciate. But again, I don't think it has anything that interesting to say. I don't generally agree with the worldview of the show anyway, and I don't really like almost any of the characters like that. I don't have that one character that really speaks to me. I know everyone loved Rex in season 3, and I did too. I had fun with him, but I never had like a real like connection with Rex. I just thought he was funny, frankly. I don't think
Hmm.
Mark is too interesting as a character. I don't think Eve is too interesting as a character. I know online everyone beats up on the Immortal, and rightfully so, because fuck the Immortal. This is kind of a side quest, but like everyone's like the Immortal is the worst character on the show, and I'm like, pause. Portal sucks. Worst character on the show, not close. Eve's dad. It's 100% Eve's dad.
Yeah. 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 I don't understand. They don't like, I think they did such a good job at the first couple of episodes in season one. Like, that, think, spoiler alert, season one's my favorite season. I think the first couple of episodes, they did such a good job of this is our tone, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna hint at certain things, but like this is what we're gonna do. You know, it's gonna be father son rivalry. Good versus bad, but it kind of depends on who you look at. And throughout the whole show, like season 2 and 3, it's kind of the same thing, but I feel like they just dragged the point that they made in season one. And even though they like ended it at the end of season one, they brought it back for 2 and 3. And that's why it's lower on my list. But yeah, I think they did such a good job of setting things up. And then they realized the success they were having. So season 2 and 3, they continued to have the same thing, even though it really didn't make any like a lot of sense.
My understanding is that it follows the comic books pretty closely. That's what I've heard from a lot of people who like the shows. They're like, this is the show that follows the comic books to the page. It follows exactly what the
Well,
comics want. I'm like, okay. That doesn't mean
it
anything to
makes
me.
sense. Yeah, it makes sense that it follows the comic books because the comic books, like each individual comic, like you know, it doesn't have to build off each other. That's kind of what comics are made. You make a comic, you say this is what we're gonna do. This is the fight scene. Boom, story, boom, done. All right, next comic. We can have the similar tone, but we can have different characters. Boom, you're still gonna read it and you're still gonna like it. Problem is, if you put that in the show, people start to notice. And I mean, I think I could describe season 1, 2, and 3, and I could choose one of them to describe, and I could do very like vaguely, and you wouldn't know what season I'm talking about. And that is one of the problems I have with the show.
Guardians
Yeah.
fuck up. Need Mark to help out with shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Cecil is mad at Mark for something. Like
Yep. And Mark doesn't like
Mark's
Cecil,
girlfriend is
but then they
pissed off
make
about
up.
something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
End of the world is at stake. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. This show really wears out. The world is going to end. Like the world is going to end every fuck. You can get mad at Marvel all you want to be like, they need to tell smaller scale stories, and they do. Like it's always like the world is ending. Someone's taking over this, and Invincible's like, well, dude, like people are getting genocided every other month at this point. Like this is more insane than any shit that happens. Like at the end of the season 3, Conquest like shoving Mark through this beach of people. It's like this shit already happened. Like a lot. Like a lot of people die in the crossfire for all this shit. Like Mark, it makes it hard to like get really invested in it. And also Conquest got soloed by the fucking leader of Team Team. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to go? Do you want to go into a ranking? I can try and remember the individual seasons. I think I've got somewhat of a ranking in my head.
I mean, I think, yeah, I have an individual ranking, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory on why it is kind of hard to really remember the individual's seasons. Season one was the most memorable. I just finished season three, and I could tell you everything that happens in season one. Season one was very memorable. It was, done right. It's just if it ended there, people would have been pissed if it ended there. But like, dude, that is a solid show. That's a
It's
solid
good.
superhero season right there, season one. So you
Yeah,
have to put that at number one. And it's like, your dad knows better, you know, but is he really right? It's kind of like it's a father son rivalry. You don't see that a lot. And I think that's what makes season one special. And then, I mean, season 2 and 3, I think are a little bit closer. I think season 1 was easy for me. That was just my favorite season. That's the one that got me hooked. Some season 2 or 3 didn't really like blow it out of the water. I'd probably go with season 3 at number 2, just because I thought too much went on in season 2. Too much went on in season 3 as well. I just I couldn't tell you when I first saw that guy in season 3 with the portals. I'm like, wait, where did he come from? I'm like, I had to remember because he really wasn't that memorable, and I'm like, oh, that happened in season
Dude,
2. Well, wait a
oh my
minute,
god.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then he died, but he didn't die, and I'm like, oh, there's too much dying, but not really dying. Like
Yes. Oh my dude.
killing Rex, but like he got shot in the head, but he didn't. I'm like, if you want to do it right, what made season 1 so good was all of a sudden out of nowhere, dead. You know, we don't care. They're gonna die. You know, that's what made season 1 so
Yeah,
good.
just like
That's why, yeah, Omni Man killing the Guardians was the best outro in the entire show, and that was the first episode. You know, and then you get to season 2, you get I forgot the character who multiplies.
okay.
Duplicate. She died. They had a funeral, but turns out she didn't really die.
Yeah.
Okay. Rex got shot in the head, but he's not really dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Um
Frankly, I forgot that happened.
uh Ant-Man, Ant-Woman, she
Got
got
eaten and is
swallowed
dead,
up,
except not.
except she's not dead. Like, dude, if you killed them right there, that is a great episode, you know? And that is like tone. Change the tone. Okay, people are pissed. And
Away.
then
They're off on Mars. The Guardians
yeah.
got fucked up.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
And then now you got like the lizard people, I guess whatever you want to call them. Like that is like that could be your kind of villain for that season, you know? Cuz they killed 3 of the guardians. And then you're like actually, you know, they're not dead, but they killed the lizard people pretty easily. Rex could still function with half of his head. I don't know. Too much went on, too much dragging went on. I thought the story of season 3 was a lot better than the story of season 2. I don't know. That was just me personally. I think 2 and 3 are close, but I think 1 clears easy.
I think season fuck. Ben did not tell me before we recorded this episode that we were gonna do a ranking. I've been trying to figure it
We
out this
always
whole
do a
time
ranking.
in my head.
Always do
Fuck
a
you. I
ranking.
didn't ask. I,
Details matter.
they're like, I hate you. They're like, we're not reviewing that show right now. They're like jumping around in my head right now. So I'm gonna like try and talk through each of the seasons and try and work it out in real time. Season 1 has the most clear story to me. And it's definitely got the most like intrigue where you're like, what is going on? Like, you're like, because the Guardians say they're like, is he being under mind control? Does he really want to kill them? Why is he hiding it? So the clearest through line of the entire show is in season 1, where it's like, what is going on with Omni Man? What is going on with J.K. Simmons? What's going on with his dad? Why is he fucking killing people? Why is he being weird? What's the story here? And I appreciate that it doesn't lean into either one, he's being mind controlled, which we've seen before, or two, he felt like inadequate compared to the other superheroes, which we've also seen before. I don't think it was handled exactly as much. I don't know if they changed their minds or what the comics were saying, but there's like a scene, which is a really good scene, where a monster is wrecking a building and he's out on a date with his wife and he's like kind of like psychotically looking at her going, do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? And she's like, for the love of God, yes, I understand. Go fucking help them. And he's like, I'm on vacation with my beautiful wife. Let Cecil do his job. And it's like, that scene works really well, but his reason for fucking people up is, I'm not going to say rational, but isn't like the product of psychosis. It's the product of a different culture on a different planet. He's not like not relating to people because there's something wrong with him mentally. There's just something wrong with his culture of people. So it doesn't necessarily follow to me. To be positive, season 1 also, I think, has the most emotional moment of the show for me and the most profound statement with the robot character, where he has his fucked up cancer ridden
So
body. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, That's my favorite character. So continue, but that's my favorite character.
The robot, yeah. The riddled body, and he clearly has a thing for Monster Girl, and he lets the Maulers out to build him a clone. And they say to him, look, dude, we are not putting your mind in this clone. That's going to be okay. We're just making a copy of your mind, and you're going to die right now. And that guy's going to wake up over there and just be just like you. That's all. You are going to die right now for this. You could keep living. He's like, no, but for the good of Monster Girl, I'm willing to give up my life because clearly he loves her and he wants to do better by her for her fixing her transforming bullshit. Which was a really profound moment for me, and that's the best profound moment of the show for me. It's in season 1. I think the season 1 kind of sets the seeds for the Mark's battle with Cecil in season 3 because you get Sinclair messing with people who turn them into robots. I don't know. I think Darkwing is in season 2. I'm less familiar with that one, but and this is. I also should talk about Mark and Amber's relationship in season 1 because Amber's another character online and gets a ton of hate, and in my mind for no fucking reason. People will say something like, Amber knew that Mark was invincible and still yelled at him for running away when that thing happened. It's like, do you not understand like dynamics between people? She like the only argument you could possibly make would be that she should have already broken up with him. That's the only argument you could make. Like, basically, what she knows Mark is invincible, and what she wants is for him to tell her the truth. Because the decision he is making when he thinks she doesn't know is that it's more important for me to keep my secret than it is for her to make her feel like she's loved. That's the dynamic at play. So I don't know why Amber gets hate if it's from fucking incels on the internet who never have a girlfriend. I realize this, but still, it's aggravating to me. Yeah, so that relationship happens. And the other thing that I thought was poorly thought out that jumps out to me is when they clearly had an idea of putting Sandra O's character on a big arc where Omni Man says, I love your mother, but she's like a pet to me. And they're like, that's probably a horrible thing to hear because he's so much older. She's like a pet. I was like, you didn't think that thing all the way through, buddy. Like, she's a pet that he fucks and makes like kids with. Like, you don't fuck your pets. That's not, that's not how you do things. So that was season 1. Season 2, uh, I think I enjoy
Was I misunderstood? A robot's not my favorite character. My favorite character is Donald. That is my favorite character.
Donald, Omni-Man.
Cecil's number 2, Donald with the glasses.
Donald.
That is my favorite character.
Shout out Donald. My favorite character is probably the robot. Season 2, this is where like at this point there's not really a story what's happening anymore. Shit just kind of happens for the whole season. And then the season ends. I think there's better questions asked and there's more interesting explorations. I think the bug planet was a good idea. Having Omni-Man literally put Mark in the shoes of a human, be like, yeah, well, these people only live for a year. Is it possible to relate to them? Which I thought was a nice reframe. Obviously, doesn't like forgive all the genocide that Omni-Man did, which is a big hump the show's going to want to get over because very clearly the show wants to forgive Omni-Man for all the horrible shit he did. But that's a lot for like, dude, he massacred people. Like tens of thousands of people, maybe hundreds of thousands of people died at the hands of like, it's going to take a lot for me to want to forgive him for that. I think
I didn't like the tone change. I know there was a break in between like in the middle of season 2, there was a break. I didn't like that because the show completely changed for me, you know?
when
I think in the middle of season 2, I know that when it released, they released the first 4 episodes and then they released the next 4 episodes.
was the end of the 4th episode when like Omni-Man is like, it's been a long time, Mark, or something like that.
No, the end of when they separated it was when they took Omni-Man back to prison or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like the problem is that is a clear like I almost have to put season 2A and season 2B because that just doesn't feel like the same season to me,
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
right. There's still stuff that like
And that
kind of connects
yeah,
it together, but not really.
that's why it was number 3 for me.
Like that Viltrumite shows up and threatens Amber. And again, interesting question. The Viltrumite saves people with Mark. If it's just a math problem, who saves more people? You'll be saved more in the Viltrum Empire, but she fights him and she threatens Amber. And that's the end of their relationship. I thought that was handled much better. Or actually, I thought before it was handled fine. I just hate the people on the internet. That was handled really good, where she's like, I'm not safe. What the fuck? Can't make it work. That's the end. That was well done.
I thought that at that point it was a good time for them to break up. I just think I don't know. It kind of just sounded like we know not a lot of people like Amber, and we know people want Mark and Eve, so let's make this happen.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it
But
felt like, you
I
know?
think they did a good enough job with that. I think
I
that's a
no,
fair
I
enough
think so
reason for
too.
that to
Yeah,
happen.
I think no. That's what I'm saying. It was kind of like I couldn't think of a better way for them to like break up. I just thought it was a little rushed. That was my problem. I thought that was the right time because she almost died. Like, look, I can't do this. I'm not a part of your world. I'm not a superhero. I can't do this, you know? And it's like, it was emotional. It was a good moment. But
Yeah.
like we know the show wanted Eve and Mark to be together. Like we all know that,
Yeah. That had been coming for a long
From Eve,
time.
yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, in a relationship, I think was handled incredibly poorly, and everyone, and this is just be throwing meat to the base here, but everyone agrees on this. Immortal and Duplicate. Wow. Few things I want to say about this. First of all, when Rex walks in on Duplicate and Immortal fucking in the shower, and Rex is like, "What the fuck?" And Immortal's like, "Shut up, I'm fucking." Duplicate walks out, and she's like, "Listen, Rex, I'm not interested. You cheated on Eve. You're a cheater." And I'm like, "Bitch, you're a homewrecker. That's just as bad. That is just as bad as cheating." And she's like, "What you don't understand, Rex, is that Immortal's the only one who understands me. He's the only one who's died as many times as I have." And I'm like, again, show you did not think this all the way through, all right? Just because they've died the same amount of times does not mean they have the same life experience. The Immortal's supposed to be like thousands of years old. Duplicate was on Teen Team. I don't know if she's 20. Like, this is like some crazy different. And yes, I would be just as upset with it if it was an old woman and a young guy. Okay. Yes, I would be just as mad.
Sexist. No, you wouldn't. You're sexist.
I
Cancel
would.
him. We got him, guys. Cancel him.
The Immortal Lena and
Details matter.
Duplicato. But yeah, that annoys me. It annoys everyone. It's crazy. The Immortal's a fucking predator. And also has like the biggest piece of shit. Like, I think I might like season 2 the least. It has the biggest like piece of shit attitude of like, I'm gonna run things. It's like, no one fucking likes you. Like, shut up. He and Duplicate is ridiculous. And by the way, the end of season 1 was like the thing we all wanted to know what's going on with Nolan. The end of season 2 is who gives a fuck? Angstrom Levy, you from the first episode. Holy shit, I don't care. Oh my God, really? Wow. Oh man, good for you. You're here. Like that whole thing. Yes, I like the Spider Man No Way Home joke and the Spider Verse joke, but oh my God. Yeah, Mark's mom's arm got fucked up. I honestly was more invested in Mark and Eve breaking up than I was in that entire episode because I knew that Mark's mom and Oliver were fine. So I guess season 2 is my least favorite. Season 3 did better than season 2 because it asked better questions, even if I don't agree with the show. Like the whole thing with Cecil putting the thing in Mark's head, I think it's completely indefensible. And people have tried to defend this to me. I'm like, it just doesn't resonate with me. They're like, what about Mark's dad? What about Mark's dad? Well, look what he did. I was like, who the fuck wants to be judged by what their dad did? Like, and listen, I love my dad, and my dad is awesome. But like, I'm sure, like, if my dad did some stupid shit, I don't want to get punished for
Don't
that.
yeah. Don't you think there's a reason that like Mark is mad at Cecil? I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like
and that was the other thing. I
if
think,
you switch Mark and Cecil, like if you switch like if Mark was human and running that organization and Cecil was invincible, I'd be scared. Dude, Cecil's fucking he's not a good person. Like
yeah,
I appreciate the backstory and why he is who he is. We got that in season 3.
yes,
I kind of understand. I appreciate
I
that
get what he's
because
saying.
the first 2 seasons, I'm like, okay, who the fuck is this guy? What is his problem? Third season, I'm like, I understand. It's just,
And it doesn't
I,
even hold up. It's like he's like,
yeah.
listen, Cecil, I don't see anyone putting a fucking chip in your head, dude. Like, I don't think you're down for the cause here. People have told me is like, hey, well, who's gonna stop Mark if he does something? Who can stop Mark? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Who can stop the American military if we decide to do something? Should all the American troops have like Suicide Squad style like bombs in their heads in case they decide to do the wrong shit? And who holds the button on that? And also, who's gonna stop Cecil when Mark's gone? Who's gonna stop? Who's the next best guy? Immortal? No. I don't know. Adam Eve? They're going to put a thing in Adam Eve's head to blow her up if she does
I
some
think
bad shit?
technically it's immortal, I think,
No, it's not.
but he's immortal.
No.
Hey, but he fucks.
Apparently he does. They tried to have. Can I just say, I don't appreciate at all that, like, they try to have emotional moments with him and Kate. And like they don't. I think they're trying to be funny. Like he finds her in that cabin.
Three
He's like, I'm
words.
more
3 words. 3 words. Couldn't care less.
couldn't care. I laughed, especially when like he sees Kate in the cabin. He's like, I'm more, and he goes, Kate. He's like, that's what he sounds like. Kate. I was like,
Kurt.
bro. I'm like, I don't know. And then, of course, let's get into season 3. Rex dies, and like Immortal and Kate starting a family has more like screen time. What is going on? Like,
That was a moment where I'm like, are you kidding me? Why are we not like covering this? I'm glad that they ended at the funeral like that, because that was like a good, solid ending.
yeah,
Again, my problem is should not have almost died in season 2. You know?
yeah,
Now, if it was Rex in season 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden he was about to die, and he was like, "Yeah, I can explode my fucking self. Fuck you."
yeah.
I'm like, okay, that is a great send off for Rex. Well done.
In
But the fact
fairness,
that he got shot in the head
yeah,
and then he blew himself up, those were the 2 near death or death experiences.
yeah.
Like, come on.
In fairness, Rex does his best work in season 3, especially when he's bouncing
Yeah.
off of Mark. Listen. Everyone related to when Duplicate and Immortal goes up, and Rex goes, "Fuck you, Immortal!" Like right after having the whole bit with Cecil, like, and this is my favorite finger. Can you help me out? That was. And listen, I'm not saying I don't like Invincible. It's a fun show, and I enjoy it. But it's just like people are like, it's up here. It's like, it's not, bro. It's not. Also, Angstrom Levy
And
comes back in season 3. I don't care.
yeah.
Oh, I meant to talk about this. The whole like, should he kill people? Should he not kill people? Apparently, the show thinks he should kill people, which is pretty crazy. But it's just been done better in Daredevil, and I hate
And
Oliver.
why are we still talking about this in the 3rd season?
Yeah,
Make a fucking decision. Either don't kill people or kill people.
except you've killed someone. Except he's not really dead, so it doesn't count. It's like what the fuck,
Yeah.
bro. Oh, and in season
We
3,
spent
we finally get Mark
Yeah.
and Eve, so that's a plus. We get Mark and Eve finally.
Yeah.
That's what everyone wanted to see. But like, okay, I'll tell you that off camera. But there's some other shit that pissed me off about that. Um, that shit I will get canceled for. It was yeah.
No,
Oh, I think
it
I'd
just
say season what? Ugh, I don't know. Season 3 or 1 in first place, and season 2 in last place because fuck season 2. The more I think about this show, the more I'm getting pissed. But it is a good show, and I would throw it on in the background. But I'm not gonna watch it again until fucking season 4 comes out.
I would recommend it if you hadn't seen it. I
Sure.
wouldn't recommend a rewatch. That's kind of
But
where I'm
if
at.
you haven't watched Reacher, watch that instead. If you haven't seen Daredevil, watch that instead. If you
Reacher's
haven't,
great.
Reacher's
Daredevil's
good.
great.
Reacher's a really good show. If you haven't seen Andor, we'll go ahead and watch Andor.
Andor's
Last of
great.
Us,
Yeah.
Stranger Things, really good shows.
Mm-hmm.
Cobra Kai is a better show. Yeah, I said it. Suck
Yeah.
a dick.
Sonic trilogy. The Sonic trilogy I enjoyed more than
Yeah.
Invincible.
I would recommend Invincible, but there's like a million other things you should watch instead of Invincible because they're
Yeah.
better. No, it's a
And
good show.
to the people that say everything matters, no, it doesn't. Do you know how
Not
many
like that. Like, come
they
on,
could
bro.
they could easily? I know exactly what they're doing. They have to put it in there so that they can give the writers time. Like, okay, let's come up with, because they set up 4 things for season 4. Let's come up with 4 different storylines that we can do for season 4, and then we'll choose one. And then guess what? For season 5, they're gonna choose one of the 3 left. You still got the misogynistic demon in the tomb, and that was hilarious. By the way, that was the funniest part of season 3. But that's a storyline that they could do whatever with. And that was probably my favorite joke in the entire season because it was just like, "Hey, dude, what the fuck? That's sexist." He's like, "I need
I
a
like
man."
fuck you, Immortal. I gotta say,
Yeah,
that was mine.
no, that was funny too.
We were cracking up at the beach watching that.
And then you got the aliens from Mars. Everyone thought they were dead, but hey, we're gonna do the
Doesn't
same
make
thing
any
we already
goddamn
did.
sense how that guy just coughs one up. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
It's
absolutely
like,
not.
hey, we're gonna do the same thing that we already did, but just on Earth now. Like you thought you saved me? Well, guess what? You did.
Like someone's knocking on my door. I might be getting a noise complaint.
It's Rex. It's Rex.
Oh, then he died. No one comes back after they die. We know this.
It turns out his blood didn't actually explode. It was just his middle finger.
Turns out his real name was Rex Mortal.
But
Okay.
no, there's so many storylines that didn't really matter. It could matter in the future, but I mean, I'm like, okay, which one? I want to know where this is going. You know, I don't want to know what's going to happen, but I want to know where this is going. It's very, I think, very
As I
simple.
said, the
You know,
main issue with the show is that it's
yeah.
hard for me to get invested when there isn't really one character that I can kind of latch on to and be like, "This is my guy." Because it's like, we're about okay, it's fun to see this, it's fun to see this. This is a really good time. I'll throw this on in the background, but never really gets listen, maybe me and Ben are just weird, and you'll be the one person or the one of many people who loves Invincible and just sat through all the spoilers, but if not, then let us know because I feel like the show is getting overhyped, like, unbelievably so.
If you like it, that's great, you know? And it's an enjoyable show, you know? If you don't think too much when you're watching TV or when you're watching movies or shows, this is a show for you, you know? But if you think too much into
If you're
this, you see me and Chad, the more and more you think about it, the more and more you're like, "What the fuck?" As Rex said himself.
a few times. As Ben said, if, you're a fucking idiot, you will love the show, and
Yes.
if you
That's why 100 before 10 loves it.
100 he loves it, he's all about it. This was a mistake.
He may be
Um,
attractive, but he does not know
he's
movies.
just a pretty face. He's just a pretty face.
Yeah.
Alright, next time we'll talk about fucking something, I don't know,
Yeah.
something.
We're gonna talk about Rex Explode and his sex tape leaked
We'll probably
next
record multiple
time.
episodes, and then I'll put a poll up again, and you can vote for what you wanna see, and we'll do that. But until then, this